I believe a man can love a woman unconditionally, but I don't think a woman can love a man unconditionally.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I think it's the other way around.
No.
I think a woman can love a man unconditionally. And
Not
most men.
Not forever.
You don't think so?
No.
Damn.
No. I think when a man loves a woman for real, like, he'll love her forever.
What I'm about to say really shouldn't be controversial, but for some reason in the dating world, it is. If you're a woman that wants a man that will never give up on you and will stay committed to you and love you unconditionally, then you have to be willing to do the same. You can't just leave the minute that he does something that's not terrible, but you just don't like. So before you get into a relationship with a man, seriously ask yourself if you're capable of loving someone when you don't want to. Because as long as he's there and he hasn't given up on you and he's remained committed to you, that's a good man. Because it is not okay to leave a good man that you've claimed that you're committed to because why? You don't feel the spark anymore or you deserve to be happy? I don't care what some of these post-divorce women will tell you. I've been divorced and I will tell you the truth. Good men are out there. They're actually quite plentiful. Most men are good men, but less and less of them are wanting relationships because they're having difficulty finding a partner that's willing to give the same. It's really quite simple. You can't expect to receive what you're not willing to give, and it's completely reasonable to desire back what you already give.
Welcome, my friends, to the RP experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Before we begin, if you are new here, watch 5 to 10 minutes of the video. I don't think this will be like a long video, but if you have to go, please give me a like before you leave. If you like the video, of course. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, give me a subscribe so that I can finally reach 400 because I am so close. Today's video is going to be about, and I'm unsure of what the title is going to be, but I recently learned that the Florida governor, what's his name, Sanchez, he has passed a law that there's no more lifetime alimony in Florida, which I didn't know that it was, but whew, good thing it isn't, because I don't know if I could afford that anyway. But I'm pretty sure a lot of women don't like to hear that, because I do believe a lot, not all women, but a lot of women get married under false pretenses. They don't intend to stay married for long, probably 5 to 10 years until they have a couple of kids, and then they'll break the family apart. Now, it's not always the woman's fault. Of course, sometimes the guy is probably cheating or abusing her or just doing things, but it's nothing to govern what the woman is doing. Basically, once you marry a woman, especially after you have kids with her, as a man, you almost lose all leverage then. If you have kids with her, you may as well marry her. At least you get some type of not control, but you get some type of leverage to somewhat don't get totally destroyed once you guys break up or split. Not to say that you are. I'm pretty sure some of you will stay together till death do you part. But I don't think we are built like that these days. I think 10 to 15, 16 years is about the max of what relationships can do. And I'm pretty sure that last 5 years or so, you're running on fumes and you two can't stand each other. Anyway, I have a video that I'm going to share right now. And this is how we as society has got to where we are right now.
Men are losing their mind over a recent video that I made explaining how you leaving a good guy doesn't make you a bad person. Your spouse doesn't have to be abusive in order for your feelings of wanting to leave to be valid. There are dozens of reasons why marriages fall apart, and a lot of them have nothing to do with somebody being a bad person. Here are some examples: financial problems, growing apart, communication issues, addiction, too much arguing, lack of emotional or physical intimacy, one spouse just isn't carrying their weight in the marriage. Maybe you married too young or for the wrong reasons. Opposing values or lack of shared interests. Or maybe you just live like platonic roommates. Those are all very common reasons for divorce. And it doesn't make you or your spouse a bad person.
Damn. She said quite a few things that contributed to my divorce. Even though, like I say it again, I put the nail in the coffin by getting her into some legal trouble. Not on purpose, but I was desperate or something. And pretty much as men, as we definitely know, you're by yourself. Despite what women say with that partnership thing, when the shit hits the fan, you know, the weight and responsibility is on your back. This is why some men is taking that hard stance with the submissive thing. Now I disagree with that, but I understand where they are coming from with that. There's no insecurity there. It's just a thing of like, I have all this responsibility without the authority, then what is the use of me taking that responsibility? Which I agree. And this is a good example right here. Let's say you are doing the job and you was hired to do one thing, and then you are doing other duties that is almost management type of job functions without the pay. Now, you might do it at first, be like, oh, yeah, this feels good. I have more responsibility. I'm going to move up in the company. But after doing it a while, a lot of us, now some of us won't do it because some of us are overachievers or something like that. Because I've done that in jobs myself, but never in like management stuff or something, because I never want something to go wrong and then they are looking at me and I'm like, hey, I was off today. But anyway, that's basically what I'm saying. When you are in a marriage or even a relationship with most women, I mean, some women will really have your back, but I have to admit, things change, especially when you start having kids and stuff like that, which I understand to a degree, but people need to talk more when they have life changes, both the man and the woman. Because I have to admit, I didn't talk about certain things, and things could have went differently, but neither did she. She did more complaining. Anyway, after that video that got men on the thing of like, what is the use of getting married? We're not getting married. Now, there's a portion of us that do not know this stuff, or either we are in the love bubble and stuff. We are in love with the woman's in love with the man and stuff like that. And okay, I wish you guys the best. I hope you walk off into the sunset and never come back here. Because if you're in a happy relationship, you're not watching these types of videos. But for the rest of us that has went through hell and back, we are here and we know what the fuck is going on. Anyway, let me share this video about what's going on in Florida. And hopefully, well, I'm pretty sure if it starts here, it's going to start to other places. I know I heard a couple of people in my Facebook friends list saying that they're moving from Florida. I wonder, does it have anything to do with this new law?
That sent shockwaves through the state, Governor Ron DeSantis finally caved to pressure and signed a measure that ruthlessly overhauls Florida's alimony laws. This decision, which comes after 3 previous vetoes and a decade of bitter battles, effectively eliminates what is known as permanent alimony. The measure has sent the members of the First Wives advocacy group into a frenzy consisting mostly of older women who rely on these alimony payments for their very livelihoods. With this heartless approval, DeSantis has callously disregarded their pleas and condemned them to a future of upheaval and uncertainty.
Judges hear divorce cases. In courthouses like this one, they have to make a decision. How much will one partner pay the other after the split, and for how long? In a small percentage of cases, judges choose to make those payments permanent. It's something one woman tells me helped her live a normal life, but another man says it brought him to the brink of suicide. After Christoph Leibrecht and his wife split, he says the judge's ruling was devastating.
What they want is $10,300 per month. Permanent alimony.
It's a cost Leibrecht says he had no way of paying, and after draining his $2 million inheritance, Leibrecht says it wasn't enough.
The lawyer needs $55,000. You have a $55,000 perch, so they took my house.
12 days in jail is what Leibrecht says he got for not being able to pay his court-ordered alimony payments. Now he lives in Maine, where he hopes lawyers won't come after him.
This whole process literally did bring me to the brink of suicide.
Senate Bill 1922 would not only make permanent alimony illegal, it would also cancel Leibrecht's payments retroactively. But I also spoke with Jan Killily, who says permanent alimony actually saved her after her divorce.
I was married 25 years and gave up a career to raise a family in a traditional marriage.
Killily started a website advocating for women like herself. She doesn't want the bill to take away the payments that helped her rebuild her life.
I know how difficult it is to reinvent yourself at 50 years old with a 25-year-old resume.
And this bill has been through the Florida legislature before, and it was even vetoed by then Governor Rick Scott in the past.
So a bunch of women in Florida are pissed off at Ron DeSantis because he's taken away their alimony. 1, do you think he's preparing for his own divorce? 2, I find it fascinating that all these women who've been voting for 100 years against their own self-interest are shocked when it finally affects them. Okay. Because you know what? Half of Florida are old people. Good luck there, buddy.
These women are losing their minds, and I don't care. The women I feel for are old women who have been divorced since the 1990s, and women who were forced by their husbands to be stay-at-home moms. Those are the women who deserve permanent alimony.
Now, this one I do agree with. Now, you guys, you want the traditional wife? You want the one that doesn't work and stays home and just raises the kids and cleans the house? Well, you're going to have to pay out the wazoo if you two get divorced. And now, however, though, I'm not against giving money. It's the amount. Okay, that's the thing. And maybe the longevity. But that guy that had to pay $10,000, like, whoa, man, that's a murder piece right there. And of course, that would make a guy, like, I believe a lot of times when men commit suicide, 9 times out of 10, I believe it has something either to do with a woman or money. Or maybe somebody close to them passed away. But I'm pretty sure those are the 2 top ones. And if it's the woman, it's probably because of divorce or she had left him. And I don't never agree with taking yourself out because a woman has left you. But I understand the pressure of if you have to pay this woman and deal with this woman and you kind of miss the kids and you just going through a whole lot of emotions and things. Yes, I understand. I've been there. Now, I've been lucky that that woman wasn't, well, my ex-wife is not that bad, but the thing is though, she could be, depending on who she's listening to or who she's talking to at the time.
Let's assume I marry a traditional woman. All I want her to do is be a traditional wife. Cook, clean, and take care of our kids. If I do something that warrants a divorce, then I must pay alimony. That's how it should be. After reading the bill that was passed, this is what I learnt. If the marriage lasted over 20 years, under the new law, alimony is capped at 75% of that. So everyone worried about the retirees being thrown out into the cold, don't be, they're fine. A long-term marriage still amounts to decades of alimony. DeSantis just killed the hope of these women who plan to get married and then divorce after 5 years. He just cut off the life supply of a lot of gold diggers. I feel like DeSantis watched the video on why 90% of men are boycotting marriage. I think the world is going a good direction. What's left is for other states to start implementing this too. For the single men here who don't know what permanent alimony is, it is the fee you pay to your ex-wife every month to maintain the lifestyle she had while you guys were still married. If you're a billionaire, you're going to lose millions of dollars. If you're a millionaire, you're going to lose thousands of dollars. And if you've got thousands of dollars in the safe, you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars. That's how it works. And the payment happens every month. Now imagine paying that bill for the rest of your life. What's worse is if the divorce wasn't even your fault. She just woke up and felt she didn't love you anymore, and boom, she files for divorce. Since you earn more than her. We all know women don't marry down. You end up paying alimony. Another scenario is if she falsely accuses you of being violent toward her. You might be thinking, okay, I'll just pay the alimony for a few years till she remarries. Don't you get it? You're her fucking retirement plan. These women have everything planned, from the honeymoon to the divorce court, before they even wear their wedding dress. Most of them don't remarry, so they'll keep collecting alimony from you. To me, permanent alimony just doesn't make any sense. In the past, alimony made perfect sense because women were not able to work. But today, women who choose not to work in marriage have made a decision. Even with kids and so on, they can work when kids are at school or growing up. Many of these women never worked because they chose not to, and the ex shall not pay for that. And even if alimony was a thing, why a lifetime? She is not giving him anything back anymore. Why is he forced to pay her fat ass for just existing for a lifetime? It's pretty good what the governor of Florida is doing. Lifetime alimony is kind of bullshit nowadays. I highly doubt that women who qualify for it have zero work history or education, or a serious disability preventing them from working. The few very old women who divorce and qualify can probably be sustained with some alimony, not lifetime, and social security. If you have the freedom to leave a relationship at any point, it also means that you have the responsibility to take care of yourself when you do that. You can't have your cake and eat it. One person being used to a certain standard of living, and wanting another person to maintain that standard of living doesn't make sense. Asking someone to keep providing for you financially post-separation is as weird as asking your ex to clean your house, cook your meals, and have sex with you because it used to be that way.
Bars, and that's exactly what it is. Now I understand why some women, not all women, are so eager to get married. Now, I don't believe every woman that goes into get married to a guy is thinking this stuff out like this. But the thing is though, I believe once that love starts to fade, once once she loses respect for her man and she starts looking at him a different way with disdain, then she starts talking to other women, then they give her the map of what to do. And we as men, we never get this information. but we are getting this information now. So, to all men out there, this is why I am saying probably is not in your best interest to get married. Unless if you think, okay, unless if you are young, you're in love, and you think this woman is the one. Because I do believe there are, for as I said before, I don't believe in extremes. So I believe there are some people that will have a, I'll say, a marriage that stands the test of time. I'm not going to say a happy marriage because you're going to go through ups and downs, and each milestone that you get to, you going to go through different challenges. But if you are both on the same page, you're going to meet it and grow together. But with most of us that's getting married, we get married for the wrong reasons. Uh, a guy may get married because he's been with a woman for a long time, and then all of a sudden he says, well, we may as well do it. Or maybe she seems really unhappy and he gets married thinking that's going to change her, and it's not. So, and that's the same thing with having kids. But however, I do think when you have kids together, you should find a way to stay together. But most of us do not. And then sometimes you could have kids with the wrong person. Now, I'm not saying that a woman or a man should stay with somebody that the person is making them miserable. But I do think we both need to think more carefully about tying the knot. Now, the way that's set up, a woman doesn't have to think that carefully because she still will leave with cash and prizes. As a man, you need to think very carefully if this woman and you can go the distance. And you almost can't go by how she's acting right now. But I will say though, if you see red flags and you having certain issues, you need to think very carefully because you getting married is not going to fix that. So you better fix it before. And hopefully she's not one of those sly ones that will fake it until she's married. Because there are those women. But I do think there are slips that women make that we as men let go. Because I know I let a lot of stuff go. And of course she lets certain things go too. But thinking back, I could have nipped it in the bud a long time ago. So anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked this video. I know it was a little long, but it was a lot of information in there. So give me a like and subscribe. Thank you very much for being here. Have a good day. Oh, and I should have another video coming out later today. Thanks.
My husband says he's upset with me because, in his words, "Sweetie, you need to stop spending so much money on DoorDash. Ordering it 3 times a day is not appropriate, and we need to start living within our means." Honey, it sounds like you have an income problem, not that I have a spending problem. Start earning more money and we won't have these issues. So I took his credit card that we share, and I booked a vacation for my daughter Richard and I. We're staying in a hotel tonight, and I hope he enjoys that I charged $8,000 to his credit card. Make more money, darling.
Dirty work. Your ego has driven you out of truth. You only played yourself, got no